Alrighty. So, meet Chera. This is an idea I had because, regardless of how Endwalker ended, I said screw it. Shallan and Zenos are getting married and having babies. So, yeah. Anyway, I decided to show a Let's Play of Stormblood and probably Shadowbringers at some point. Maybe at some point I'll go back and do a Heaven's Word. Probably New Game Plus run, since I have far too many characters at this point. I mean, there's not really a lot, but yeah, I need a break from Heaven's Word because I played through it 2 or 3 times recently, so yeah, I need a break from that. But anyway, so here we are. This is where Stormblood starts off. I think you actually probably get the actual quest from somewhere else, but when you buy the skip, it automatically starts you here. Anyway, so here's Lise, aka Ida. Papalymo died. It's very sad. Though it may not be apparent to the naked eye, the ether here is in turmoil. Not since the calamity has this land been subjected to the forces of magnitude unleashed by Shinryu and Omega. Yeah, if you don't know how the post-Heaven's Word build-up to Stormblood goes, we stormed that castrum over there, and an old enemy guy, I don't know, Ilberd, I don't know how you want to describe him, he's just a douchebag, decides to kill a bunch of people and then summon an entity of pure hatred that became a dragon known as Shinryu, and we unleashed a supposedly ancient Allegan machine known as Omega, and it destroyed everything. So, yes! They had a big old fight and things happened. Let's see. Was it always his plan to sacrifice his life to complete the ritual, to bring forth the arbiter of his vengeance, but not to remain to see the aftermath? Good question, Kryl. Papalymo had to know it would be only temporary. If Grandfather couldn't contain Bahamut with the power of 1,000 prayers, then what chance did his disciple stand with only a broken staff? All are present and accounted for. When you are ready, my friend, pray inform the officer that we wish to proceed to Geralbania. Ah, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. We were told to expect you. Shall I summon someone to escort you to the wall? Yes, let's go to Castor Morios. And I'm hoping beyond hope that my cat chewing on this headset did not break the microphone. I don't think it did, but you never know.
I remember crossing the border, standing in Geralbania once more. Me and my fellow Scions, the warrior of light among us. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Stormblood. I know people have very mixed feelings about Stormblood, and yes, I agree it has the weakest overall story of all the expansions, but it has, in my opinion, the best characters. And no, I'm not just being biased because it introduces Zenos. It's because I also love Lise, I also love Hien, I love Gosetsu and Yugiri. I even like Fordola, and I love how much they start, doing for Arenvald. Because I always loved Arenvald. So, I don't know, the characters are some of the best parts of Stormblood. It just is so lively. And it also has some of the funniest moments, too. Quite an atmosphere here, isn't there? Everyone seems to be on pins and needles, though one can hardly blame them given recent events. The Alliance has done well to repurpose these Imperial facilities for their own use so quickly. The General's in high spirits, don't you think? I know the feeling. To see the colors of so many nations, Limsa, Gridania, Ul'dah, and now Ishgard, nigh brings a tear to my eye. We have much to be proud of, Chera. Sure, Chera feels so proud. So this is the East End, not so different from the rest of the Shroud, is it? Though, truth be told, I'm not sure why I thought it would be. If you want to know a little bit about Chera's character, she's got a lot of her father in her. Not so much, she doesn't go out of her way to murder people a lot, but she, for reasons unknown considering her upbringing was much better than his, also struggles with emotions. She can't process things like hate and love, joy and sadness. She has a hard time comprehending those as well as the average person. She only finds true joy in the fight, and she only really feels happy when fighting a worthy opponent. And so that's kind of always her goal, is to go find someone worthy to fight. Which, as you can imagine, her father is definitely going to be one of those. Greetings, Scions. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, I welcome you to Castromorians. Thank you, General. We were relieved to hear that your forces secured the wall without incident. Have the Imperials made any attempt to retake the Castrum since then? None, save for a few skirmishes between our scouts and their patrols. We've barely made any contact with them. But we all know it's only a matter of time before things escalate. If attacking Baelsar's wall weren't enough, Ilberd summoned a primal right on their doorstep, and Garlemald is not like to let such shows of defiance go unanswered. 'Twas a declaration of war, even if it was not Ilberd's to make, and now we are bound by it, for weal or for woe. The Scions are ready to serve, General. What would you ask of us? As stated in my message, the Alliance will not proceed without support and cooperation of the Alamegan people. We would have you serve as our emissaries and make contact with the Resistance. Oh, whoops. Didn't see what Lee said. Then I'll leave you to it. Godspeed. Of all the Castra in all the world, you walk into mine. Master Garlon, what brings you here? A certain missing elegant weapon and a draconic primal. Omega and Shinryu, I think this generally called it. Anyway, we've been studying their trail of destruction, hoping it might lead us somewhere, which it has singularly failed to do. Then 'tis like Omega fell to Earth and in occupied territory, meaning it may already be in Imperial hands. Even so, it bears repeating that we engaged the stasis systems. Assuming the command was received and executed successfully, the weapon will be of no use to them. Assuming. We should hurry up and find it regardless. All the more reason to reach out to the Resistance. If we want to press into Giralbania, we'll need their blessing. Everyone's counting on us. Let's not waste more time talking. Keep to the north and cross upstream. The Black Bridge belongs to the Garleans for now. If anyone can determine the fate of Shinryu and Omega, it's Master Garland. for now, let us remain focused on our current mission. The bridge over the Velandina River has always held great strategic importance, hence the Guardian's decision to transform it into a fortified installation. Needless to say, we will not be crossing there. I do hope you're not thinking about running off to help Master Garland. It is not your duty to solve all the world's problems, you know. Were Omega not a threat at all, its effectiveness in subduing draconic foes would seem almost admirable. But such weapons are doomed to be misused. Let us pray we never have need of its services again. As you've probably heard, there are plenty of factions of the Resistance, so I'm taking us to see the one with the most influence. Their headquarters are located in a place called Ralgar's Reach, an old temple to the east of here, across the Velandina River. I learned a route that should allow us to avoid Imperial patrols. Stick with me and we'll be there before you know it. Southeast. Kind of where I'm heading. They call it the East End because it marks the end of the Black Shroud. Note the sparser vegetation. On your guard, the Imperials know these lands better than we. It is so quiet, almost as though the Imperials haven't been here for some time. At the risk of upsetting the cartographic fraternity, I can't help observing that East End depends entirely on one's perspective. I mean, people didn't even think of it as Gridania anymore, do they? Still with me? Good. From here we'll head northeast toward the river. The water's not too deep, so we won't have to swim. And Alphino is very relieved. Now we go to Thunderstorm. Whee! South. 90 Yalms south. There it is. I think there's only 4 or 5 in each place. Let's see. Yeah, just 4. Except in Endwalker, where they decided to keep up the 10 apiece. I don't know why. Also, Stormblood has some of my favorite music in all of 14. Like, it has my favorite boss themes. I don't know, it's just Stormblood is, in my opinion, quite good. I don't know why people feel the need to complain about it all the time. East. Straight east. We should not linger out in the open. Ishnola is right. We need to cross before the Imperials spot us. At a glance, it certainly seems shallow enough. See, brother, nothing to worry about. Though no one would blame you for donning your buoyancy aids just in case. Oh, Alice. Always taunting him. I don't see any soldiers. Good, let's cross. You're wondering about the tower to the south. It's part of Castellum Velandina. That's what the Imperials decided to call the old bridge after they took it. I call it a great big eyesore. Honestly, you can see that rotten banner from absolutely malms away. They never miss a chance to rub our noses in it, do they? Come on, we should keep moving. Stop chasing me. I know Chera wants to fight a worthy foe, but I don't think a spider would be a worthy foe for her. The other two are probably on the other half of the map that we cannot currently get to. Probably. Might as well just check, though. Oops. Okay. Southeast. Okay, yeah, I don't think we can get to that half of the map. Alright. Not surprising. If you haven't guessed from the way it was structured, if you watched my Endwalker playthrough, the typical way the expansions have been doing the maps is the first two you visit, generally, you can only go to half of the map in the beginning of the game, and then in the second half of the game you go back to the same map and explore the other half. Alright, if we are done having things chase us. And we didn't run afoul of a single patrol. What a pleasant surprise, in that there were no surprises. Least did well. It is reassuring. So, the reach lies beyond, but I do not see a path. Are we there yet? I say. Here we are. On the other side of this pass is Ralger's Reach. So you say, but all I see are rocks. I presume there's some sort of trick to this? Indeed, a glamour. Good eye, Y'shtola. Considering she's blind. I take it they have a talented mage in their ranks, or mayhap an artificer trained in the modification of glamour prisms. Something like that. The important thing is that it fools the Garleans. Oh, before we go in, I don't know if Tataru told you this, but my friend Nago, the messenger who came to the Rising Stones, is a member of this faction. So they know us. And they shouldn't attack us on sight. That said, they can be a bit jumpy, so let me lead the way. And, don't go reaching for your weapons or anything. And with a sprinkle of demasking dust, it's all laid bare. Yay, no more rocks in the way. Impressive or no, 20 years is a long time for even so complex a glamour to escape the Empire's notice. Let us pray they are amenable to our proposal. United, we stand to accomplish so much more. Seeing it now, I feel rather foolish for not having deduced it earlier. I suppose you could disguise almost anything with a glamour prism, if you really wanted to. Have you ever used one? Why am I asking? Of course you haven't. Alice, all my clothes currently are glamored. I'm just saying. Silly girl. Lise. All clear, let's go. In we go.
I remember the old stories, how the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft the earth with a single blow. Rhalgr's Reach, a holy place and a fitting home for the Resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo. They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost, for what could be ours again.
Oh, Anaga's already back here. Fascinating. A massive, nigh imperceptible glamour encompassing the entire valley. I see now how the settlement was able to escape the watchful eyes of the Imperial airships. Ordinarily, I'd shudder at the thought of armed rebels trampling about in an ancient temple of immense historical importance, but Rhalgr is the Breaker of Worlds, so it seems rather appropriate, if anything. This temple was once home to the Fist of Rhalgr, as I recall. Yes, there is no mistaking that statue. It's hard to feel at ease with that giant statue looking down on you. Not Kryl. It's good to see Nal go up and moving again. I wasn't there when she headed home, so I naturally assumed she'd left too soon. Always overdoing it, that one. A pleasure to see you again. And Kryl and Y'shtola, without whose help I would not be standing here today. At least, not so soon. So you really came. Never thought I'd see you here, but I'm glad. Hey, Mefred. It's been a hot minute. You'll forgive us our precautions, but we couldn't be sure who had crossed the barrier. We see you now for who you are, though. The signs of the 7th dawn. Now, I know you have not come all this way. You would not have come all this way unless you had something important to discuss, and I'm eager to hear what it is you have to say. But let's not do this on our doorstep, eh? Come with me. But first, go find all the Aethernet crystals. Oh! There's a company chest here! Why did I never notice that there was a company chest in Rhalgr's Reach? Lols, okay then. Let's just use this. There are just 2, and then the actual Aetherite, so... Right. This place, for whatever reason, we can ride our mounts, so let's make things a little faster, shall we? Alright. We've now attuned all the things. Hooray! When we first met back in the Shroud, I took you for just another adventure. By Relgar, I still can't believe how far you've come. It's been a hot minute since that happened, Meffred. We plan our operations here when we're not entertaining important guests like yourselves.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Ralgar's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalimo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. 'Twas the least we could do.
I wanted to, I mean, about the mask and...
Ah, don't fret over that. You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, child.
Papalimo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monargo told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rolgar it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir, to see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please.
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
Alright. Gee, I wonder if they're going to let us... if they're gonna accept our proposal or not. To be honest, I already know I want us to work together, but we've still got to talk it over with everyone. We'll need to call the other senior members together before we can make a decision. So the Gridanians are finally willing to fight, eh? I can't imagine they would refuse, but if they did... So they would have us wait. Very well. Papalimo and I weren't entirely honest with you. Though we were sheltered in Little Alamigo at first, we spent most of our time here, working with Conrad and his people. But you probably guessed that the moment I led you to the Reach, didn't you? It's not as though we have to stand around here indefinitely, do we? So it would seem we find ourselves with a surfeit of free time. Ah, forgive me. You're free to look around Rauger's Reach. In fact, I would encourage you to do so. It'll give you a better grasp of our current circumstances. Thank you, Master Kemp. I believe we will do just that. Let us make the most of this opportunity and assess the Resistance's capabilities. Free to poke our noses wheresoever we will, eh? I like the sound of that. Well, I already know this place inside and out. I can show you around if you like, Chera. Great, let's get started. Oh, look who it is. It's Uncle Jules. I'll bet you think the Resistance is mostly made up of Alamegan Highlanders like me, but the truth is that we don't even account for half. Really? Lisa's a Highlander? She's so tiny! She looks like a Midlander! Like, seriously! She's so tiny. We've got Hellsguard from all the way over by the spine in here, and plenty of Seekers of the Sun like Nago. There's even some beastmen, well, beast women, I suppose, like that one over there. She's an Ananta, and they have been with us for a while now. Well, one of the smaller factions has. The rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Garleans to them. They keep to themselves, spending all their time crafting. Ananta make the most amazing jewelry, by the way. They use magics to twist metals and crystals into shapes you wouldn't believe. It's a pity people hardly ever get to see their work, but then most don't even know they exist. That's enough about them anyway. Let's have a closer look at the statue of Rauger, shall we? Yes, Joes, you are just as surprised as I am. You didn't know this fact about your own waifu! But really, she does look like a Midlander. She does not look like a Highlander at all. Alrighty. Of course, if I could make alterations, I'd make these kids a lot taller because, you know, they're supposed to have at least some of their daddy's genetics in them, and they're confined by the restraints of Makote standards. They cannot be any taller than I've made them, and it's very unfortunate. Pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? The Breaker of Worlds who guided our ancestors to these lands all those centuries ago. Ida used to tell me the story on stormy nights. She wanted me to understand, to remember. At the end of the 5th Astral Era, when waters rose higher and higher, people all across Eorzea beseeched the heavens for a sign, and lo, a burning star appeared in the eastern sky and led the way to these mountains of Giralbania. Those who were saved by his grace pledged to honor and revere him, to devote themselves to works without and within. A storm of blood approaches fast, hell's open, heavens weep, for no one soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. That last part was inscribed on the stone by a monk of the Fist of Relger. Ida explained it to me. A day will come bringing strife and sorrow that none may escape. Waste not these precious hours, but in quiet preparation make strong the body and mind. I don't know if that storm of blood is finally upon us, but if it is, I have to believe that everything we've been through, everything that has led us to this point, will see us through to the end. Ugh, I'm sorry, that was all a bit melodramatic, wasn't it? Let's keep moving, shall we? Off to the infirmary. But first, over this way, if I can actually manage to do this in a timely manner. Because I am terrible at platforming. And of course it's also freaking dark, I can barely see anything. Alright. Ah! Of course I don't even have the sightseeing logbook for this area yet, so there's not really much point in going up here at the moment. I'm just showing that it exists. If I can actually manage to freaking jump. Sometimes I can get this without any trouble, sometimes it takes me forever. But that's the case with pretty much all platforming in this game. Which, in Stormblood, there's a surprising amount of it. As you will see when we get to Kugane. Ah! Jump short. Nah. Okay. Now. Okay. Alright, so you jump up here, and when you have your sightseeing logbook, right out here, there will be a sightseeing spot. Gets you a nice little bit of experience. A lot of Stormblood sightseeing spots are very similar to that. You really have to work for them sometimes. Deafening glare. That is certainly a name. This is the infirmary. As you can probably tell, here's where the resistance healers patch up the wounded and tend to the sick. No matter how carefully we plan our operations, casualties are inevitable. It's a sad thing to think about, but it's also important to remember the cost, as Conrad would say. We should go. I'll show you to the Aetheryte Plaza next. I've already been there, but yay. You two are come to inspect the facilities. As you can see, they have done well to set aside this much space, but their supplies are insufficient. We examined the patients and offered what assistance we could. However, for many of their injuries, time and bed rest are the only effective treatments. We can ride mounts in here. I keep forgetting that we can ride mounts in here. Because we can't fly in here. When you've seen one Aetheryte, you've seen them all, right? Not quite. This one's an older design, dating back decades to when the Fist of Ralgr was still here. It may look a little different, but it works just as well as any other. I'll show you where the Solters are next, but don't forget to attune the Aetheryte before we go. Already done, Lise. Hardly surprising. Where there is war, there is profit to be had. Ah, excellent. They've no shortage of settlers here, so we should we have need of their services. Arms, armor, potions, you name it, these folks got it. The resistance would be in a bad way without the brave merchants that keep it provisioned. If you're short on anything, or you need something repaired, these are the people to speak to. Oh, Alphino and Alisair are here. Why don't we see how they're getting on? Don't really need this. Not any better or worse than my current helmet, so... or headpiece. So that's probably about equal to what I currently have for my other job I'll be running through this with. Surprise, surprise, it's Dancer. Come to take measure... something. Blah. They're a bold lot, that much is plain. If the Imperials found out they were peddling their wares to the Resistance, they would be lucky to escape with their lives. 'Tis a gamble, aye, and I admire their courage, but their motives could hardly be said to be altruistic. Ah, here you are. We've been looking all over for you. We've finished discussing your proposal, and we're ready to receive you all back at the tent. I've sent somebody to fetch Y'storla and Kryl, so if you would follow me. Mefred. Sorry to have kept you waiting, but matters such as these demand due deliberation. We'll begin once the others arrive.
Thank you all for waiting. We have reached a consensus. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance. But the Resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rhalgr's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree, but it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the Wall, and we've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Y'storla and I could lend a hand in the Infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you, lot. Monargo and Mefrid will tell you more.
Understood. We won't let you down.
Alrighty. What a relief. For a moment there, I wasn't really sure which way it was going to go. As if there was any doubt. Now that we've dealt with the formalities, we can get to work. I'm glad you're with us, friend. Pinch me if I'm dreaming, because I'd swear it's finally happening. The whole of Eorzea committed at last to the liberation of Alamigo. Mostly because our hand was forced, but you know. Right then, Monargo and Mefrid are to be our keepers. Knowing not of what they require, one task is as good as the other. Make your choice, Chera. Alright, so I probably don't need that hat, so let's just go ahead and take this. Aether compass can be used, stuff things, blah blah. Alright, let's start off with Mefrid, shall we? At the risk of repeating myself, it's still hard for me to believe we'd meet here again here of all places. Though I reckon you probably don't remember me after all this time, eh? Chera doesn't remember, but her mom would. This is kind of more her mom's adventure, you know, stuff and things. Anyway, I remember you, at least. I'm impressed. Given everything you went on to accomplish, you'd be forgiven forgetting all about your time in Quarry Mill. Suffice it to say, we didn't forget about you either, nor the lives you saved. As for me, I went to Little Alamigo while Galleon was recovering. Gundabald was my former commander and old friend, and I had a lot on my mind. In the end, I decided to disband our unit. I told the men to live their lives as they saw fit. Some chose to remain in Little Alamigo, and others went to Ul'dah for work. But as you can see, I chose to come back to Gyr Albania, and join Comrade and the others. I've kept busy since then, ferrying people and provisions across the border and back. It's not been easy, but it's been fulfilling. Today, however, we'll be heading east to the peaks. Conrad thinks we might have luck finding new recruits in the village of Alagana. Alagana? If you're going there, you're taking me with you. Ah, that's right. You're from Alagana, aren't you, Lise? By all means, we'd welcome the company. There'd be more to it than just asking around, but we can talk about it on the way. Make your preparations and meet me by the tunnel to the peaks. We can also take Monargo's quest, but yeah, we'll just do this one at a time. As is tradition for most of these expansions, they give you a choice on one way or the other where you want to go in the beginning. Actually, it's the way it goes for all the expansions now that I think of it. Eda and I were born in Alagana, though I can't say I remember much about it. This tunnel will take us all the way to the peaks. We're on a mission for Conrad to Alagana. Clear the barricade if you would. Aye, sir. Shouldn't take more than a moment. There's more villages out there than out here, but also more Imperials keeping a close eye on things. We'll need to tread carefully. Off we go. And the sun is starting to rise.
I remember the peaks of Girabania, silent watchmen that would stand long after we were gone. We came seeking allies to join us in the fight against the Empire. People who had had enough. People who had suffered every possible indignity. Who had been treated like animals, day after day after day.
This wasn't the work of the Garleans, but of Theodoric. His army massacred the monks here decades ago. By the time the Black Wolf arrived with his legion, it was already a ruin. We have a glamour in place here too, as you may have noticed. So far as the Imperials are concerned, this is not more than a testament to the savage impulses of a lesser race. Remember, though, once we leave these ruins, we'll have no glamours to conceal us. The village is to the east. Keep watch for patrols as we move. Southeast. Gods, look at that tower to the southeast. How long did it take them to build it? Yeah, there it is. Nary an Imperial in sight. That's a mercy. Alagan is due east, past that bridge. Follow me, it's not much further. Evil butterflies. Right, this place is full of giant bugs. But first, we must continue going south. See if we can get our hands on a thing. It's probably at the top of the ziggurat. Southeast. Past all the quick-burn! Quick-burn. Let's see if there's one up here. Before the rats decide to eat me. No, I feel like there used to be one up here, but they probably removed it. West. Wait, west. Northeast. Alright, it's probably... northeast. I hear it. Hold on. It's around here somewhere. There it is. Alright. Oh, hold on. That's what I meant to hit. Alright, let's kill this thing real fast. Now we can get this. north to go south real fast. Leave me alone, rat people. I am not tasty. Southwest. Airlines. Probably can't make it because it's probably up there. Thus, we can't get there until the second half of the story. Not surprising. But I would think there's probably one more Aether Current I can get on this half of the map. Probably. So many giant bugs out here in Albania. We've seen butterflies and moths, and soon we will see grasshoppers. There's one! Giant grasshoppers. So horrifying. Ugh. So many of them too, just everywhere. Everywhere, freaking grasshoppers. Been older than 5 when we left this place. My memories are hazy at best. You can rest easy, we made it. This is Alagana. It feels strange coming home like this. I always imagined it would be... Oh, sorry. That has nothing to do with why we're here. We need recruits. Aye, we do, but as I said back at the Reach, it's a little more complicated than just asking for volunteers these days. As you know, we're short-handed because many of our people were taken in by the Griffin's promises and went to the wall, never to return. It wasn't just them, though. Folks from all over, including some of my former comrades, answered his call to arms. As for why we came to this particular village, it's rumored that Alagana lost a few youths as well. If there's truth to that, then there could be others sympathetic to the cause. Then again, after the Griffin's betrayal, they may also be suspicious of outsiders claiming allegiance to the Resistance, and rightfully so. So with all that in mind, how are we supposed to convince them to join? I mean, I knew it wouldn't be as simple as giving a speech in the village square. Not if you didn't want the place to be burned to the ground, no. You might as well piss in the Viceroy's eye. We'll need to be a good deal more circumspect than that. You never know when an Imperial spy, blah blah blah. We must speak with the village elder first. I know for a fact that he can be trusted. We'll listen to what he has to say. Sounds like a plan. Let's hope there are still some brave men and women. I am having a hard time keeping up with reading this today. I don't know why. Ugh. Couldn't have been... Okay, she still says the same thing. Ragnafrid is the village elder is over by the shore. No time like the present. Let's have a word. But first, attune the Aetherite. Wonder why my PlayStation 4 randomly thought that I suddenly had 6 more comments in my chat. I don't know. Sometimes it's just glitchy and I question it. Don't know you, traveler. You a merchant? You'll not find much custom here. Greetings and well met, Elder, and sincerest apologies that I did not send word ahead of our arrival. Too long have I been away from Alagana, and I would know of your recent troubles. Ah, your comrades of Mefred. I see, I see. Speak on, though I suspect I know your purpose. The Griffin came with many men and left with many more. Such is the rumor. Is it true? He lit a fire in their hearts and then dangled a dream before their tired eyes, and now you've come to steal away what few remain. The Griffin was a traitor and a madman, and we had no part in his schemes. We have made an agreement with the Alliance. This time it will be different. This time? This time? Cold comfort to the dead and the ones they left behind. How much more must we give before you've had your fill? But surely you hate the Empire as much as we do. They took our lands, our traditions, even our god, and they demand a fifth of what little we've got left. I hate the bastards with every fiber of my being. But hate's not enough, Mefred. We can't keep doing this. I'll not tell anyone you came, but you need to go. Now. Leave us be and never return. You've got no right to speak to us like that. We've got a quarry that was producing barely enough to keep us fed, and that was before half our young men and women went off to die for your bloody cause. So yes, I've got every right to tell you to leave my village. No, you don't, because it's my village too. My home. What the hells are you on about? Wait, I know those eyes. You're one of Curtis's girls. Lise Hext, and I'm here. I'm here to take back my homeland. By Ralgr, last time I saw you, you were... I didn't even know if you were still alive, and I never thought you would come. I almost didn't, and my sister never will. Lots of others won't either, and that's why we've got to carry on the fight. You even sound like him. As you say, I've got no right to tell you to leave. Alagana is as much your home as it is mine. But I'll say to you again, we can give no more. Yes, I heard you the first time. Let's go. We didn't come here to fight. I hope I haven't made a mess of things. That could have been handled better, but what's done is done. At least we've been granted permission to stay. I was hoping Ragnarfred might help us recruit some of his people, but that clearly isn't going to happen. If we're to convince any of them to join, we'll first need to regain their trust. It's risky and hardly subtle, but I say we approach the villagers directly, see what problems they've got, and if we can do anything to help. It makes sense to me. Let's split up and ask around. Alright. Still nothing. Let's just gather materia. Angry Curl! Angry, angry! A new face in Alagana. Huh. What would you ask of me then? You want to join our cause? A stranger and a generous soul besides. Bollocks. There's not more suspicious than a good Samaritan. On the other hand, if you were an Imperial agent, I expect you'd go about your business with more discretion. Bugger me, you really are here to help, aren't you? Very well, I'll take you up on your offer, stranger. My little brother's working the rocks by Grim and Enid. He's got something for me. Can you go and get it? Leave it to me. Right then, Frightened Curl is his name. Ask him for the leftovers. He ought to understand. Frightened Curl, Angry Curl, curls, curls, curls. And ghosties! Leave me alone, ghost. It's not really a ghost, but it looks kind of like It looks like that ghost from Ghostbusters, you know? Thus, I think of it as a ghost. Eager raptor. Well then. More giant bugs. Yes, he slimed me, Ray. That ghost. Death by 1,000 rocks. That is quite the encouraging name for this quest. And there's more grasshoppers. Ah, grasshoppers everywhere. Here for the leftovers, are you? Not like my brother to send someone in his stead, but so be it. It's all in the sacks over yonder. They're bleeding heavy, mind, so be careful when you pick them up. Unconscionably heavy sacks. Seems like a worthy foe to me. Butterflies! And back at the cigarette. This basically looks like an upside down pyramid, which kind of is what it is. I can't jump over this. Dang. Invisible walled. Alright, Angry Curl, here's your leftovers. Ah, the new face. You have my leftovers. There you go. Huh. Well, I'll be. You actually went and brought the whole lot. Much obliged, much obliged. It's saltpeter for making fire sand, in case you're curious what it's all for. The rocks by the lakes have got good deposits. Tain't hard for my brother to pass for any other plotting quarrymen, after all the while sweeping bits and pieces off to the side to bundle up and sell to the settlers for what trade with the resistance. It's a living and a way of fighting back besides. Our way of spitting in the Garlean's eye for putting our father in an imperial uniform and shipping him off to some faraway province some 15 years ago. Don't know if he's dead or alive even. Though, if he were alive, he'd not be long for this world if we were caught fighting for the resistance, so this is the best we can do. That's the long and the short of it. We do what we can, though we know it's not enough. I think you'll find most folks here ain't very much different. Everybody's got a reason, but in the end, the result is the same. I suppose I just want you to know, that's all. that we know why you're here, and that even if we can't join you, we wish we could. You'd best keep your distance if you know what's good for you. Say your piece and move on. Looking for folks down on their luck. Congratulations, you found one. As you can see, my leg ain't what it used to be. Some days I can hardly walk for the pain. Mornings are the worst, especially after cold nights. Hard labor's right out. Too much pain and trouble for the others. There's a tea what helps with it, though. I'd need to grind a chapuli horn and a hornbill talon for the blend. I go get those ingredients for you. Yeah, you'll go and get some for me, just like that? You needn't trouble yourself, so. Why you want to put grasshoppers in your tea, I will never know, but okay if you say so. Time to kill a grasshopper. That is a dead grasshopper. Now we gotta go find a bird. Kill the bird. I'm guessing those grasshoppers have a much wider field of view than most, because I swear I'm going behind them and they're still chasing me. Whee! And then these butterflies are aggressive too, for reasons. Aggressive butterflies! They want to eat your face. There's one of the birds I need. Those are the ingredients I need. Now back we go. Whee! I really like how they made the strata on the stone here. It's just really neat. Looks quite realistic. You've been gone a while. What brings you back to Alagana? I've only been gone a few minutes, just saying. Maybe an hour in game. Oh, I never meant to. I mean, in times like these, you never think people will actually. This country's hard on people, but it's not just that. The Imperials, they've made it known that I'm not to be helped. A dead man's good for one lesson, you know, whereas a live one... You're with the Resistance, right? I suppose there's no reason not to tell you then. My father, God's rest his soul, was deathly sick at the time, so I'd gone out into the forest, spear in hand, to gather herbs. And then I had the good fortune to run into an Imperial patrol. My weapon marked me as a rebel, or so they said. Not that it'd have made a difference if I had fought back. I knew what the lot of them were about the moment the Centurion laid eyes on me. It didn't matter in the end, of course. Some people just like to hurt others. And by the time I limped back to the hut, it was too late for my father. Too late for me, too, and many others, I imagine. Help them, too, if you like. They'll be grateful and say thank you, but beyond that, I wouldn't hope for much. How depressing! Whee! Ah, there you are, Chera. I have been trying to help the villagers deal with this food shortage of theirs. Recently, the Imperials have been swooping into villages unannounced and seizing supplies in order to prevent people from stockpiling, in case they might be in league with the Resistance. It's not much, but I've taught them a few tricks to better hide what little they've got left. How's Lise getting on, by the way? You'd think people would be more inclined to trust a local girl, assuming they remember her, that is. Well, I see her hanging out back there talking to a cynical youth. No, I didn't mean to. And where were you these past 20 years? Where were you when we were being ground under the Black Wolf's boots? On the other side of his bastard wall, living the high life, I wager. That's not fair. Oh, and who's this? Another one of your freedom-loving friends, deigning to help us poor, unfortunate souls? Try to whip us up into a frenzy so we'll go and storm a castrum with our pickaxes and shovels. Leave, all of you, before you bring a cohort down on us all. And you, don't you dare speak like you're one of us. You can't even begin to understand what we've been through here. You weren't here, Lise. You weren't here. This is my home, and I love it with all my heart. And if you truly have any love for it too, you'll keep us out of your doomed rebellion. He has a point. No matter what I say or do, it doesn't change the fact that I left them behind. But this isn't about me or anyone else. It's about Alamigo. Let's go and find Meffred. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but... Looks like the Elder wasn't the only one unwilling to hear us out. Can't blame them, given what happened at the wall. I thought I might be able to appeal to them as a fellow. I don't know. But if anything, it made them angrier. I haven't lived through it like they have. I can't claim to know the struggles like they do either, Lise. I ran too, but if I hadn't, I'd have never met Chera or the rest of you, and we might not be here today in a position to make a difference. So I don't regret my choices, nor will I apologize for them. There's more than one way to fight. Help! Someone! Anyone! We need help! I don't like the sound of that one bit. Come on. Yeah, he would, even though he was as young, or if not younger than Lise, I think. Ricotta, the Tributum and the bloody Ratmen, damn it all. You there, take a deep breath and tell us what happened. It was all business as usual. The Tributum's due soon, and we were taking it to the Imperials when the Quickran attacked. They took my brother and all our money. Took him where? Ruins to the south of here. It was just an old temple before they came, and... Listen, Ricardo's the only family I have got left. If I lose him, The Ziggurat? If the Ratmen took him there, he's as good as dead. We've got to get after them. If there's a chance our brother's still alive, we have to try. That's right, kiddo. Feel guilty. If the sodding leg of mine were any good, You've got to hurry. The gods only know what they could be doing to him. Eating him. That's what they do. You shouldn't get our hopes up like that. Everyone knows the Ratmen eat their prisoners. If we can save him, we can save him if we hurry. Come on. You're right, Lise. We've got to go help them. If not for the missing man, then for the Tributum. The Guardians won't suffer excuses if they're late. So, Ricardo's been being held somewhere at the ziggurat to the south, which has been taken over by a host of Quirkern bandits. That about covers it then. Be prepared to fight. They may not be the most challenging foes, but there's sure to be a lot of them. Off we go. Back to the ziggurat. Alright, here's the ziggurat. Oh, we actually have to, like, stop here. Okay, well then. Like, I know where he's being held. He's being held at the top. They just pace it out. Please, let me go! I'm begging you! I don't want to die! Hear that? I think it came from the top of the ziggurat. Who dares come loot our mad flesh? Ours to eat! Ours to eat! We knew we'd come to this. Kill them quick before they alert the others. I thought you said there'd be no challenge. I also said there'd be a bloody host of them. I don't know what you're talking about. These aren't any challenge at all. Alright. Up we go. Go find the dude. It's like, really? A host? I fought 2. Excuse me. That guy didn't even see me. Lols. Alright. See if I can make it to Orcata without drawing everything here. Oh, right. There we go. You're dead. Come here, boy. By Relger, what did I ever do to deserve this? I've gone to bed hungry for months. I'm skin and bones. I'd hardly make a snack, much less a meal. Oh, you found him. Well, wait. Are you here to rescue me? Your sister sent us. It's going to be all right. My sister? Oh, Relger be praised, she's safe. And you lot fought your way in here just for me? To think there are still good, brave folk in this world. We should go before the Quirkern return in force. Do you still have the tributum? Oh gods, the tributum! The Imperials will be wondering where I am. I have to go. What, right now? In your condition? You don't understand. We were given a warning last month for being short. If I don't make it in time, there's no telling what will happen to me and my sister. Unlike him, are barely considered people under Imperial rule. They're to work hard and pay their taxes, and if they don't, there'll be 7 hells to pay. Beatings, imprisonment, enslavement, and as for your womenfolk, well... getting eaten by Quickbrain, apparently. I'm glad we saved him, but seeing him run off like that, I have a bad feeling about this. Listen, Chera, I'm afraid I think we need to go after Rakrata. Wait, you'd better not be thinking of stopping him. You heard what he said. If they don't pay one way, they'll pay another. I know that I do. I don't want to interfere. I just want to see that he makes it there safely. If that's the sum of it, then fine. Let's head down and see if we can't pick up his trail. Whee! Looking for Chocobo Feathers, I believe. There it is. In the dirt, you spy a Chocobo Feather. Any luck? A Chocobo Feather, is it? By my reckoning, it came from Rakrata's bird, in which case, there's a collapsed bridge just around the bend. Hug the rocks and stick to the shadows. We'll find him soon enough. Can they really see us all the way up there in the tower? Probably. Daddy dearest is up there. Any minute now, I expect he'll come thundering around the bend, and hear that? Get to cover now. Get to cover quickly now.
Are they Imperials?
Worse. Skulls. Listen, Lise. Whatever happens, stay hidden and do not intervene. Understood?
What?
You there! Halt! You know you shouldn't be here. Explain yourself.
Forgive me, sir. I came to deliver the tributum.
Oh, aye. A likely story. Only a fool would dare to come so late. Or, mayhap, a resistance spy.
No, you've got it all wrong. I was waylaid by bandits. It's not my fault.
I said halt!
Well, that was a punch.
Is this a joke? You don't seriously expect us to believe this is a fifth? How stupid do you think we are?
It is, I swear, on my mother's life.
Spare us. You came late, you lied about bandits, and then you tried to cheat the Empire of its due.
Think you can kill them all? Including the ones watching from the tower? Even if you did, others would come for him and his family. You'd be condemning them all to a life of hard labour. Assuming they didn't just execute them, that is.
Take a deep breath, please.
But it isn't fair.
It's your bloody fault we're stuck out here patrolling this god's-forsaken wasteland. It's your fault I have to listen to people go on and on about how Alan Egan's can't be trusted. I've worked and toiled harder than any man. I'm a citizen, goddammit. And what are you? A stupid, stubborn little dog who'd sooner bite the hand that feeds him and pine for the good old days.
That's enough! Lord Zenos is expecting our report.
Zenos. Perk your ears up, Chera. There's your daddy's up there, waiting for ya.
I'll bet the poor bastard can't believe his luck. He gets to go home. We should do the same.
You saw nothing, $4. We could have done something instead of just letting it happen. I'd heard their commander was keen-eyed, but gods, that was a near thing. It tears me up inside to see our own kinsmen doing the bidding of the Viceroy, but they've made their choice, and if it comes to it, I'll cut down every last one of them myself. And then here's Chera just like, can't understand the point of anger. It's a very strange thing to her. Recruit is alive and the tributum's been paid. That's all that matters for now. I, for one, would rather not wait around to see if the skulls decide to return. We'd best get back to Alagana and tell Ragnarfred his man got the job done. Alright, let's see. And suddenly side quests. Any blue ones? No blue ones, okay. We owe you a debt of gratitude for what you did. Rekrada told me everything, how you fought with the Corcoran to save his life. For all the good it did. We saw what happened when he met the Skulls, how they beat him half to death. We could have stopped them. Aye, I reckon you could. Meffred's a warrior, as is your comrade, and you're strong like your father, that much is plain. But I think Ralgr you did not, because it would not have ended with them. Rekrada and his sister would have been branded insurgents, if not the whole lot of us. Bones heal, scars fade, but the dead remain dead. We're alive, and that's more than can be said for only the gods know how many others. That's enough for you, is it? To put up with whatever they do to you so long as you get to see another day. That's right. You grit your teeth and you learn to live with the pain. I'll admit I was quick to judge you, Lise, and for that I apologize. I know you and yours mean well, I do. But I'm telling you, God's in heavens as my witness, that we've nothing left to give. We can't help you. I understand. Thank you for your honesty. She may say it, but she doesn't mean it. Nor would I expect her to. Her father was stubborn as an ox too. If she's set on walking the same path, I but pray she won't follow it to the same end. Well, she took it better than I anticipated, which isn't saying much, I suppose. We should go and see if she's all right. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, there's our stray. Mayhap you should take the lead on this one, Chera. Sorry about running off like that. All Amigans terrorizing their own? I just can't accept it, you know? No matter what he thinks, they shouldn't have put up with it they shouldn't have to put up with it day after day after day. I'm not completely naive, you know. I didn't expect them to storm a castrum with their pickaxes and shovels or whatever it was, but nor did I expect Rekrada to just lie there in the dirt while they kicked him. I can't claim to know their pain. I barely remember this place or even my father's face, but I remember Edith's. I remember how scared she was when we ran, and that look in her eyes when she talked about home. Her home, but not mine, is it? There you are, Lise. I've been looking all over for you. Well, you found me. Got something to say? Aye, that I do. I said some things to you before that I shouldn't have. 'Twasn't my place to do so, and I'm sorry. All that rubbish I spouted about how I loved my village, but when one of ours was in need, I was cowering here with all the others. I didn't even think to go after Rekrada, but you did. Made me feel like the bloody hypocrite I am. If I truly cared about my people, I'd fight for them. So I will, if you'll have me. You're asking to join the resistance. When you put it like that, I suppose I am, but not just me. There are others I know who've been thinking about it for a while now. There's not many of us, and we're not hardened warriors like you lot, but... If your heart bleeds for Alamigo, then that's good enough for me. You and yours are more than welcome at the Reach. Thank you, sir. You won't regret this. I'll go and speak with the others and send word when we're ready. Still think this isn't your home? No, I was just thinking out loud. And with that, my friends, our mission is concluded. Let us return to the Reach. And that's that. Still got giant grasshoppers out here. Whee! I'll probably hit up those side quests eventually, if I need to. Probably actually gonna mostly dance for this, but I do want to have Gunbreaker to 70 when we reach the end. There are some things in Stormblood that I do particularly like to tank. The first trial and the last 4.0 dungeon, particularly. Alright. Go speak with Mefrid. If you don't mind, I was thinking of staying here and assisting Mefrid with the training of our new recruits. I'll leave you in my officer's capable hands, send them in yours. First of all, allow me to commend you both on a job well done. Though nothing went according to plan, we nevertheless managed to attract some new recruits, and it was your passion and conviction that moved them to join. Thank you. No, thank you for giving me the opportunity to find out what our people have been through these past 20 years. It's been humbling. And troubling too. I heard about the skulls, but this was the first time I'd seen them in the flesh. I know you say they're the same as any other Imperial soldiers, and maybe that's how I'll have to think of them if I think of them myself if our paths ever cross on the battlefield, but when, not if. That day will come, Lise. You can't afford to hesitate when it does. Young, old, conscript, citizen, Garlean, Alamegan, none of that matters. They've all got their reasons, but they're no better than yours, especially when they're bearing down on you, blade in hand. Saying that, I don't want to kill them any more than you do. If I could convince them to lay down their arms, I would. Sadly, I've never been much of a talker myself, but who knows, maybe you could be one, Lise. Your father certainly was. Right then. I'd best begin preparing for these new recruits. Chera, Lise, it's been a pleasure. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you and the Scions for patching me up after I bled all over your floor. I owe you my life, and I won't forget that. Furthermore, it was rude of me to run off without saying a word. It's all well and good of me claiming my duties here couldn't wait, but a parting thank you was the very least you deserved. My apologies. And thank you. Now to business. Commander Kemps entrusted me with a formal reply to be hand-delivered to the Alliance leadership. It covers everything we've discussed, as well as detailing the disposition of our forces. What I need is an escort, 1 or 2 men at most, so that we can make it to the wall swiftly without attracting undue attention. Very well, I shall join you in this. General Alden commands the forces at Castor Morians. It should be simple enough to see it into his hands. Great, that's just what I wanted to hear. When you're ready to depart, meet me at the pass leading out of the Reach. Ironheart, you will give me the sightseeing log. Yes, yes, yes. I know your niece, yes. Update my log, thank you. There should be one right over here, actually. I don't 100% remember how to get to it, but it's something like this. Oh wait, it's over on that one actually, I think. Okay, I think we need to jump up on here. Oops. Yeah. It'd help if I could freaking jump. That's my biggest issue, is I just can't jump. There we go. Let's see. Really should put Lookout as a favorite for her. There we go. And at some point I need to go back and grab that one that I pointed out earlier that was not available at the time. Let us defer to Minago with regards to the route. While we could just as easily head back the way we came, there could be any number of reasons why we should not. Got everything you need? Good, then let us be off. Keep doing that. Keep forgetting to go to set 3. Why have we stopped? Is Autumn miss? Quiet. Hear that? That was a Cerulean engine backfiring. Imperials. Ye gods, you have preternatural senses. I didn't hear a thing. When you grow up hunting in these lands, you learn to discern the sounds of what could mean life and death, be they of a predator or a patrol. From what I'm hearing, we have a 7-man patrol augmented with a single Magitech armor. Wide surge pattern divided into 3 teams. I don't think they know we're here. It's risky, but we should split up and try to take them all by surprise at the same time. We don't want them calling for reinforcements. 3 teams, 3 of us. Nothing for it, then. Where are they? Head north. You should see them long before they see you. I'll deal with the ones to the south. That armor should be just to the west. Chera is best equipped to deal with that. We attack in 5. That should be enough time to get into position. Rendezvous at the west bank after. Any questions? No? Then good luck. Alright. Let's see, that's where I'm looking. That nuisance is out of the way. I guess this is the first time I saw predators. Go meet with Manago. Surprised that thing didn't see me. Surprised that spider didn't see me. I'm pleased to report that the Empire is short 3 soldiers, not that any self-respecting legatus would be sorry to lose them. So sassy, Alice. Always so sassy. It looks like everything went to plan. Not that I'm surprised. The 3 soldiers I faced didn't put up much of a fight. Most of the Imperials we get out here are conscripts from other provinces with little training and even less conviction. It's grim work killing men and women like that, but don't doubt they'd do the same to you if the rules were reversed. And don't you dare pity a man in armor. Conscript or no, a soldier piloting one of those can kill a dozen good men in the blink of an eye. Not that I need to tell you that after what happened at the wall. And there's my level. Right, I believe we've rested long enough. We should resume our journey before someone notices their missing patrol. More soldiers. I didn't think they'd come this far west, but better safe than sorry. We're clear. Only Alliance patrols ahead. You said the forces at Castramorians were under the command of Flame General Raban Alden, didn't you? Did you not? By Relgar, the Bull of Alamigo himself. I never dreamed I'd have a chance to meet with the legend. It's Small Shulk! I returned from a survey of the wall but a moment ago. We have yet to recover Palpalimo's personal effects, I am sorry to say, but you may rest assured that we will notify you and yours the moment we do.
It is good to see you again, my friends. I hope you are here to tell me you have made contact with the Resistance.
We are, General. Allow me to introduce Manago of Rolga's Reach.
At your service, sir. And may I say what an absolute honor it is to stand before the Bull of Alamigo.
These are not the Blood Sands, girl. You and I are but soldiers on a battlefield fighting for the same cause.
As you say, General. On behalf of Commander Kemp of the Alamigan Resistance, I present to you our formal response.
We decline the offer, Kappa.
Good. I'm glad we've reached an accord. Though I was not aware you had suffered such losses.
Aye. Some of our finest took part in the Griffin's doomed assault, and we've been struggling to find new recruits ever since. The massacres cast a pall over the whole resistance, and many who might once have been open to joining us have since thought better of it.
After all of the Griffin's false promises, one can hardly blame them. They have no desire to give their lives for a lost cause.
We will not lie to them. This is war, and lives will be lost. Yet what we offer is not the fever dream of a madman, but true hope.
The people need proof of this, Father. Let us show it to them. I say we stand shoulder to shoulder with our new allies and engage the Garleans in open warfare. The Resistance must demonstrate that they can hold their own against Imperial regulars. And with our assistance, I am confident they can do just that. If we can achieve even a token victory, I believe it will serve to rekindle the hope of the Alamegan people and inspire them to rise up once more.
Aye. Aye. Once word spread that we'd want to battle against the Garleans, I'd wager we'd have new recruits flocking to us from miles around. The question is, when and where do we strike?
I'm glad you asked. I have a plan.
Good, Pippin. Small Shulk has seen the future. Our scouts recently informed me of an interesting development at Castellum Veladina, namely, the arrival of a shipment rumored to have come from the research and development facilities near the capital, containing prototype Magitech armor. It is our assessment that this armor is to be field tested here, most likely against Alliance forces, mayhap before the day is out. Damn it all, more Magitech weapons? That's the last thing we need. Your concern is not unwarranted, but we needn't despair just yet. The shipment is thought to have contained a single heavy unit and 1 or 2 support units. With a well-laid ambush, we are confident we can destroy them all, hindering their development and delaying future deployment. Ugh. We should carry this out as a joint endeavor with the Resistance that they have. It would mean dropping all pretense about the Alliance not wanting to go to war with the Empire, but you'd have a lot more folks willing to stand up and fight if they knew they weren't alone. And we were going to have to do it eventually anyway. Exactly. And so what I propose is simple. We harry their patrols to bait them into bringing their prototype weapons to East End, where our Resistance allies will take them from behind. Simple indeed, and well within our capabilities. I see no reason to delay, especially if a field test is imminent. What say you? Assuming the Vice Marshal's intelligence is accurate, I agree with his assessment and fully support his plan. I shall notify my comrades at once. Understood. I shall have one of my men bring you the details of the plan. Just scrolls just slightly too fast, I think. And we, for our part, will be fighting with the Alliance, yes? I somehow doubt that you were intending to sit this one out. I think there's actually a setting I can make it go slightly slower. Oh, there's a blue plus quest. Let's go pick this up. Because Aether Currents. Private Galvus. No, it's just the woman I wanted to see. Yeah, she's just a private because I've done literally nothing with the Grand Company with her. We've misplaced a number of Garlean drones taken from Balsor's Ball, and by misplaced I mean the damn thing sprang to life and stormed out of the base. They need to be dealt with before any civilians come to harm. Being familiar with Magitech as you are, I can think of no one better to assist us. If you would be willing to help, go and speak with Lieutenant... Where do they come up with these Mikode names? She's overseeing the initiative to terminate the drones. Private Galvish Renage. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. The drones were not in our possession for very long, but a cursory inspection showed they are made with heretofore unknown metal alloy. They are all but impervious to traditional firearms, which is why we commissioned Garland Ironworks to fashion a weapon capable of penetrating their armor. It has since been fitted to a suit of Magitech armor, which I would ask you to pilot. If I'm not mistaken, this would not be the first time you've piloted one of these suits. It should take you no time then to familiarize yourself with the controls. Now, the drones were last sighted due east of here and to the north along the Velodina River. I fear recapturing them is out of the question, so do whatever you deem necessary to stop them. Whee! Technically, this is Chera's first time piloting one of these, but that's just because I skipped all of A Realm Reborn, basically. And Heaven's Word, because I've played both of those quite a bit recently. This stun doesn't seem to have a diminishing return. Good to know. We have slain the drones. There are more drones to slay. Also Leshies. That's a technical failure. And then we find a random person out here fishing? Standing by the water, so I assume you're fishing. Well, you're not currently fishing, but I assume that's what job you have active at the moment. Multiples at once. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Okay. I have destroyed the things. Hooray. You know, the more I think on it, aside from a gunblade, I can't see Chera being that into technology weapons. Like, she has this very weirdly specific, like, priority, I guess, in the kind of weapons she wants to use. Because she finds bows and lances and traditional swords kind of beneath her. But she's also not a fan of technology, really. It's kind of funky. Like, she likes axes. I don't know why she likes axes. She likes gun blades. She's okay with using chakrams, but that's because her mom basically forced all her kids to learn how to dance. She will use a scythe. She will be a reaper. She's absolutely abysmally bad with magic. She is basically a Garlean when it comes to magic. She's got a lot more of her daddy's genes in her than she does her mom. Looking back, I take it the drones have been disposed of then. Excellent work. We were quite fortunate for your presence, save for our lieutenant. That person. None of my men can even activate a suit of Magitech armor, let alone pilot one in combat. I only pray this isn't to our detriment in the future. There's still plenty more of those drones out there along Baelsar's wall. If any more of them should suddenly stir... At any rate, we will continue working with Garland Ironworks so that should such a day come, we will be ready. Yay, I have Aether Current. Whee! We've been careful to avoid needless shows of force this side of the wall, but that's all about to change, and when it does, you may be sure they'll send their new toys out to entertain us. I would ask you to participate in this operation, but from the look I see, it is a foregone conclusion. Thanks. My thanks. Per Pippin's plan, we need to turn East End into an Imperial graveyard. You're a dab hand at this, and I'd be a fool not to use you. Head to this spot on your map, right here, a patrol should be along shortly. Deal with them, then rendezvous with the rest of us at this location. Go well, Chera. Robon Extreme, Kappa. On that sheet. Thank you. Alrighty. Is that dealt with? Rabon Extreme. That's where we're going. I mentioned it, and then I forgot that that's where we're supposed to go immediately afterward. Whee! If you're wondering why I call it Rabon Extreme, it's a reference to back when this expansion first launched, and people had a very hard time getting into this solo instance because yeah, everyone was trying to do it at once, and let's just say Stormblood's launch was a little rough. My information was accurate, it would seem. The patrol never came, or was inaccurate, it would seem. Okay, patrol never came. All right. All went to plan then? Good. Our scouts report that a unit escorting the prototype weapons has left Castellum Velodina. The resistance is already in position, so we have but to wait for our guest to arrive. Let's do. Oh look, it's dearest of all our enemies.
Things looked grim for us after Cartano, didn't they? Oh, how they doubted us. Yet here we are, right as rain, with fancy new toys to put through their paces. It's like all my name days have come at once.
Oh, this guy. He is certainly someone.
Well, 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 if it isn't Garland's little troublemaker. I can't wait to see the look on Zenos' face when I bring him your head.
You do realize who you're talking to, right? Oh, goodness.
If my secret weapons here don't grind it into mush! Attack!
It's real funny him saying that in the context of this being Zenos' freaking daughter. Meanwhile, that one fake guy is still screaming for help. Alright, so I need to focus on the armor.
Get after them, damn you! Now I've gotcha!
It's so weird not having continuation. I think that's the level 70 skill too, so we... dodge, you know.
You'll be weeping blood! As a raging bull!
Well, fine, Raubon, if you want to be that way. There we go. Okay. I'm fine. Retreat! Retreat! Who fights, runs, and runs... Wait, what? Huh? For all amigo, let none escape! Self-destruction sequence. Whee! I'm working on it. Working on it. %, 6%, 5%. 4, 2, 1. Alright, there we go. It's down. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh! Damn it all! Miracles of Magitech design, my arse! I passed harder stools than these piles of scrap.
Thanks for telling us
You'll
that.
pay for this. Mark my words, the next time we meet will be the last.
Aye! Run and tell your Viceroy! The day belongs to El Amigo! Yeah!
Yeah!
Well done, all of you. I'd call this operation a resounding success. Can't say I'm surprised. The Bull of El Amigo had an impressive military record before he went west, as I recall. Credit where it's due, Master Kemp. 'Twas Marshal Tarapin who made this plan, and all of you, the Resistance and Alliance alike, who carried it out to perfection. Aye, that they did. Not a single casualty, for which I am grateful beyond words. I've no doubt our comrades back at the Reach will feel the same. As will ours. It's been a pleasure, General. Until the next battle. Monago, I leave the Scions in your care. I shall return to the castrum then. Chera and Mr. Slavier, once more you have my thanks. As Master Kemp said, until the next battle. That smile is suitable for her because she's always looking forward to the next battle. That brute of an Imperial officer was a force to be reckoned with, wasn't he? A fool, mayhap, but he held his own against the Flame General. I'd heard stories, but to actually see you in action, I almost found myself pitying the Imperials. Seriously, though, that was inspirational. Ah, but you must be tired of hearing that, eh? I'll keep it simple then. Thanks for the help out there. And back to Dancer. Well, there's no reason to remain here any longer. Let's head back to the Reach. The tale will need to be spread far and wide if it is to help the Resistance draw new recruits. Fortunately, Monago is eager to see to that. You didn't have to take part in the operation, but you did. You went above and beyond what was asked of you, without hesitation, and for that we owe you a debt. Our victory may not count for much in practical terms, but its symbolic value can't be overstated. The Alliance and Resistance fighters came together to face an Imperial unit equipped with Garlemald's newest weapons, and smash them. The people will remember this day. Aye, that they will, for it marks the beginning of something far greater than any single victory, the beginning of a campaign by a united Eorzea to drive the Garlands from our lands. Promises and platitudes mean naught without action, but the Alliance took the field and risked their lives for our cause. Ha! To think that the last time the Gridanian troops trod this soil was more than a century ago during the Autumn War, and that was to defend against our invasion. Ours is a long and bloody history, to be sure, and it gives me heart to see that despite our acrimonious past, we can still come together for the sake of the future. Well said, Commander, which is why I intend to go from village to village and spread word of our victory to our new alliance. The people will flock to our banners, just you wait and see. Chera, Alice, I can't thank you enough for your assistance. Thumbs up. Alright, and with that, I think I've been going for a while, so I could use a quick break. So, I'll be back in a little bit. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Never cease to be amazing, and bye for now.